the series. This is number 5. Joe Rogan's bigotry denial syndrome allows him to avoid scrutiny. All right. So Joe Rogan is a dude, and I can't say like he, I can say his bigotry denial syndrome. That sounds pretty good. That's good grammar and it's faithful to the original. The problem is not a subject pronoun. That's a possessive determiner. The determiner, just like and the bigotry denial syndrome, it's the same role, but it's possessive, belonging to Joe Rogan. So start over. Try to find a subject. It's the syndrome. The syndrome is the thing allowing him to avoid the scrutiny. So I'm taking everything all the way up to the syndrome. It allows him to avoid scrutiny. That's the subject ID. So that means all of that stuff. That's your subject. Next. Oh, and I think, if I remember, God, it's been so long since I've looked at this story. I think, yeah, because Eric Dagan's, bigotry denial syndrome, he capitalizes it. I put it in italics. Yeah, maybe I should have capitalized it. I don't know if it would have been clearer or not. At any rate, let's go back. So Joe Rogan's bigotry denial syndrome might allow him to avoid scrutiny. That's your verb identification, and that lets you label that guy as a verb. Okay, so him, interesting. You're starting, him is already a pronoun. And so him is pointing back at the back at Joe Rogan. So if you already start with a pronoun, and if you look at your pronoun paradigm, him is always an object pronoun. It doesn't matter if it's an object of a verb or a preposition or whatever it is. Him is the object of the word to the left. And so the word to the left is a verb, and so there's only one thing it could be. That's the only, and if you're doubting me, I guess I can go ahead and doubt myself. It should only occur as one thing. It's a pronoun. It's an object case from that guy. That's it. That's all you get. So you don't even need to prove yourself, but if you need proof, your object ID is right there on the free dictionary. All right, so next. And the dictionary works because there's only one definition. If there's more than one definition, that's why you need to do, verb IDs and subject IDs and stuff like that. Okay, so now we have SVO and to. Possibilities are to someplace, and to avoid doesn't sound like any place anybody's going. So this is looking like Joe Rogan's bigotry denial syndrome allows him to do so. So yes, totally. That's an infinitive verb phrase, ID. And that means we can mark this guy. Okay. And the sentence pattern is SVO plus infinitive verb. Okay, good. And let's see, final markup. Final markup for the first sentence. Allow. So I'm going to copy the contents of the infinitive verb, delete to, copy, paste, and I need to select the object of the first sentence, and that's going to be um, the object of the first sentence is the subject of the next sentence. So him avoid scrutiny sounds a lot like Cookie Monster, um, but as we saw in the dictionary, him is the object case for he, and so he avoids scrutiny. So that's your he avoids scrutiny. That's totally fine if you want to do it like that. What is he pointing at? Joe Rogan? Either one. I mean, both of those are true. But normally I would say start your start your sentence like the Russian troop presence. Don't start your sentence with it. Start your sentence with the Russian troop presence. But that's because that's in the original. In your sentence with the original sentence, it was Joe Rogan's bigotry denial syndrome allows him. And so the original sentence was already a pronoun. So if you want to start with he, okay. All right, then I'll stick with that. So he avoids scrutiny, and he equals pro, subject pro, and that's subject ID. I mean, this is kind of circular, but you get the idea. So he, that's your subject, and because he is always a subject. Okay. He might avoid. Good, so that means that's your verb. Avoids is the main verb. And scrutiny, other than an object, what could scrutiny possibly be? Let's imagine you think it's an adjective. The most scrutiny. Oh, that's still a noun, but it does sound adjective-y. But he doesn't equal scrutiny. That doesn't make any sense. And scrutiny is replaceable with it. He avoids it. That's the whole point, right? He wants to avoid the thing. So that's your object ID. So that's looking like an SVO sentence. Okay, so final markup for avoid. And like I said before, in the previous video, you don't have to say, infinitive verb sentence, like tell me what you're doing. Like what's this new set of tests you're doing? So this is the infinitive verb sentence analysis or whatever. Infinitive verb sentence is enough. And then I recommend to everybody, tell yourself which verb is your main verb, because avoid and allow are two different verbs. That's good. What you don't want is final markup for allow and then final markup for allow, because I've seen that a couple times. All right, that's number 5, and 6 is coming up.